Greetings, this is Lefty Chris, community contributor for GoPlugin. Today we're going to make a GoPlugin node using the automated script method. We're going to use some of the older commands as well as some newer commands that were used from other community contributors in the GoPlugin Discord page. So let's get started. If you're considering using Voter for making a GoPlugin node, consider using my referral code. It is a give 100 get 35 referral code. This code will be available for a limited time. What we need to do is we need to go into our VPS. We need to copy the IP address. We're going to change the appearance in PuTTy. And then we're going to log in as root. And then we need to insert the password. Next, we need to open up a new tab, and then we need to go to the GitHub page. It is setting up a Pli Node using the automated script method. Shout out to Xinfin for being one of the creators of the actual GitHub. We're going to start with number one. Number one simply is updating the VPS with the latest settings. Whether you use Voter or Racknerd or Contabo, we need to go ahead and update the VPS with the current settings so that we can proceed forward. Next, we need to go ahead and create a new admin account. So we need to copy number two, and then we need to open Notepad. I have it already opened. We're going to paste, and then where you see where it says my new user, we need to change that to simply whatever you like. So I'm going to use Lefty, and anywhere where you see my new user, just change it to Lefty. Next, we need to change where it says my new password, and your password can be whatever you want it to be. So for this example, I'm going to use Xinny, Xinny, and then we're going to save. Now let's go ahead and copy this information. We're going to paste it into our VPS and then press enter. Now we need to exit out the VPS. Now we can reopen PuTTy. We can go to session. We can copy the host name, which would be the IP address. Then we can go to appearance, change it back to 14. We're going to open and log in as Lefty. And then we're going to log in as Lefty and press enter. We're going to copy the password Xinny, or I suppose I could have typed it in, but that's okay. Copy, paste, press enter. All right, and now we're in our VPS, and the actual name, the login name is Lefty now. So let's go back to the script. Next, we want to go to number 4. We're going to copy, and then we're going to press enter once. Now, this is where it gets very interesting. I had to do some digging in the Discord, the GoPlugin Discord, and there was a few individuals that were trying to tackle a certain issue where the node address wasn't appearing or the external initiator wasn't running properly. So there seems to be a fix, and we're going to use this newer method. So first, we're going to copy, and I'm going to put all the links and all of the commands in the description in the YouTube video. So first, let's go ahead and copy the new command. We're going to paste, press enter, and then we're going to copy one more command, and this should fix any issues that were what was happening with the previous Pli Node videos that I was creating. So we're going to paste it again, and then we're going to press enter. Now we can go to step 5, where we'll be able to run the node. So let's go ahead and copy, and then we're going to paste and press enter. We need our password for Lefty. Remember, it's Zinny for this example. So XINNY, press enter. And now this portion takes 20 to 30 minutes. So we're going to jump ahead so that we can actually proceed forward with the next steps. So now up until this point, you should have the following information. You'll want to copy, and then you'll want to paste into your VPS, and then save. Then open your node GUI IP address by going to a new tab and then pasting, press enter. And so I'm already logged in. What you would usually do is you would put in your API username and your API password. Next, let's fund the node. So the first thing you want to make sure you have is you want to make sure you have XDC Pay. I already have it. We will want to change the RPC endpoint settings. So we can go to settings and then network settings. And I'm using XDC mainnet. And here are the settings for the mainnet. So you have XDC mainnet for the network name. You have the new RPC URL, followed by the chain ID, which is 50. And then the last two are optional. I usually just insert that information. So now we can go ahead and fund the node. So we're going to go to keys, go to address, go to the bottom where you see regular, or you could go to your notepad and you can copy this information as well. So either or is okay. We're going to go to XDC Pay. We're going to first send some Pli tokens. I'm going to just send 1. And if it doesn't load, you can click it and then click it again, submit. And then we're going to send some XDC. I'm just going to send 1. Submit. And then let's click on where it says GoPlugin at the top left. Our node is funded. You can see the Pli balance is 1 and the XDC balance is also 1. Next, we can go to, scroll down, we can go to number 8. Number 8 will involve using XDC or Xinfin remix to make an Oracle contract address. This part is very crucial. First, let's go ahead and click where it says Remix Oracle Deployment Task on number 8. We want to scroll down. You see where it says Deployment. We're going to scroll all the way down to number 1. We need to copy the first line, or rather both lines. And then let's open Xinfin Remix. We need to create a new file. We're going to name this oracle.sol. It doesn't matter what you name it, but you need to make sure that you put a .sol on the file. So now we can paste the information. We can go to compile, and which we need to change it to 0.4.24. I believe by default it comes 0.8.7. So we're going to stick with 0.4.24. We need to compile. And then we need to go to where it says deploy and run transactions. The environment needs to change to injected web3. And if you notice, you can see that my account is generated. So we're in the right account. Next, we need to deploy. But before we do that, we need to use the smart contract from GoPlugin. So open up a new GoPlugin page and then copy the smart contract address at the very top. And then we're going to go to deploy. We're going to paste. Now, the first three letters XDC needs to be changed to 0x. So we're going to deploy. We're going to submit. Should wait to take a few seconds. Now, click on the arrow, scroll down to set fulfillment. We can either go to the dashboard and then go to keys and then get the regular address, or we could go to our notepad and get the regular address. Either or is okay. We're going to use the notepad. We're going to copy the regular address, go back to Xinfin Remix, paste, and then press comma, and then, or rather type comma, and then type true in all lowercase letters. Press set fulfillment, submit, and this also should take about 3 to 5 seconds. We're going to click on the second arrow, and then we're going to copy where you see true, or rather 2. We're going to copy this line here, and we're going to paste this information into our notepad. This is our Oracle contract address. And then we can save from there. Next, let's go back and let's go to step 9. So step 9, we can copy, go back to your VPS, and then paste. Press enter. Now, step 10, we need to run the alarm clock sample ID. So let's just copy this first line here, and then we're going to paste it into our VPS and then press enter. Now it's asking for the OCA. We need to go back to our notepad, copy, go back to the VPS and paste. Press enter. Now we have the alarm clock sample job ID. We can go back to the dashboard for your Node GUI, and we can actually see that in jobs. And this is one of the jobs that we just created. You can even do a comparison. So it is indeed working. The node is working, and the external initiator is also working. Now, let's go ahead and back up the node. This is very crucial when there are situations that may arise where you may have to change a VPS, or if something happens to the VPS unexpectedly. Let's just go ahead and back it up, rather be safe than sorry. So first, let's open up the script to perform the backup. Again, I'll put this link in the description. So first, let's go to performing a backup. We need to do step number 1, in which what we're doing is we're ensuring that the backup file is in place. So let's copy this section here. We're going to paste, then press enter. We're going to type in our password. Remember, it's XINNY for this example. Now, we can go to number 3, actually number 4. Number 3 simply just allows you to check on the permissions. So for example, if I was to copy and then paste into this information, into the VPS, we can simply just see that we have a node backup on file. So now let's go to number 4, in which we should see the commands to actually performing the backup. For this example, we're just going to do the full backup. We're not going to mess with the conf or the DB backup. So let's copy this portion here, and then we're going to paste and then press enter. And this portion should not take too long, but it's very crucial. I know there have been times, and I can say I've personally made over 20, maybe 25 GoPlugin nodes, and there were times that I needed to back the node up so that I could actually make sure that I could get my tokens back or whatever. But it's very crucial to do this. So now the full backup is completed. You're going to see the SCP commands to copy your plugin node backup files is shown as basically as follows. So let's copy this information and then go back to your notepad, paste, and then we should save the file. And then what I usually do is I will go back to number 1 and perform that portion of the command into the VPS once more. And what I'm simply doing is I'm just saving the backup script. This is just a little extra step, but the backup is finished. One command that you could use to check is you could use check the backups file or folder contents. We can copy this command and then paste it into our VPS, press enter, and you can see we're going to expand it. We have, for the full backup, we're going to have a conf and a DB file. So everything's backed up. This node is completely backed up. So at this point, we have created a new GoPlugin node. We have backed up the node. The next thing we want to make sure we do is we want to create an account. You want to register the node with GoPlugin so that they can review it and make sure that everything's running properly with the node before they verify that it's okay to stake your tokens. You need a minimum of 2,000 GoPlugin tokens, and starting September 1st, they announced that you could stake a max of 10,000 tokens. For this last portion, I wanted to go over the actual guide that I created right before I made this video. I'm going to go over each part so that you can clearly see what I've done for this video. So this is the Pli Node Automated Script Guide, September 2022. Here are all the links I use for the GoPlugin node, and again, all these links will be in the YouTube description. So first, we created a new VPS, we used voter, we used the first command, we created a new admin user account. Remember, in my example, the username was Lefty and the password was Zenny. Next, we ran the cd home command, and then after we ran that command, we press enter once. Now, this next part, which is very crucial, these are the two commands that I used. And again, they will be in the description. Next, we ran the node. And then one thing that did not pop up, but if it does pop up, you'll just want to press Q, then press enter. Wait for 20 to 30 minutes. And then once that's done, copy the information that you'll see. Remember, we copied all that information here. And then we were able to copy our node GUI IP address. We pasted it into a new tab. And then we were to put our API username and password into the blank spaces. We had to fund the node. I used the following RPC endpoint information. And then I was able to use GoPlugin or go to GoPlugin, and at the top you'll see the smart contract address for the Pli tokens. Next, one thing to mention, you can get Pli and XDC from Bitrue. That's usually where I get my tokens from. And then you want to fund the node. It's okay to fund with 1 XDC and maybe 1 to 3 Pli in your node. One of the future videos, I'm going to make a video where, let's say you accidentally put 1,000 or 2,000 GoPlugin tokens into your node. There is a way to recover all of those tokens, so I'm going to make a video clarifying how to do so. Next, we followed the steps from the deploy Oracle contract. I have the link here. This link will also be in the description. Once we went through all of the steps in that guide, we had our Oracle contract address. And then we went back to the VPS. We copied and pasted the source command. And then we copied and pasted the job alarm test command. Next, we went back to our notepad and we copied the Oracle contract address, and then we pasted it into the VPS. Now, we were successful getting an alarm clock ID, but if there was an error, we would have to rebuild the external initiator. And here are the following commands. You would use this first line here to build the external initiator. Next, type pm2 restart all, and then pm2 save. But at this point, the node is completed. Now let's go to back up the node using the guide that I also created. So Pli Node backup guide. We have a useful link, which was the GitHub page. We use step 1. And then for step 2, I gave a brief explanation of what you're doing when you actually back up whichever file you want to back up. So for the full backup, you'll want to use this command. And for the DB backup, you'll want to use the DB command. And then if you want to check your backup contents, you can use the following command here. And then for step 3, you would just use step 1 over again. And then you're finished. One thing to note is if once you're done backing everything up, you would see the SCP file. You will copy that line and then paste it into your notepad and save that information in a secure spot. And for example, this is the SCP file. I hope this video helps anyone that wanted to make a GoPlugin node. I know there were recently issues where individuals couldn't figure out how to get the node GUI IP address to function, as well as there were issues with the external initiator not throwing out alarm clock IDs. So I hope this helps. Shout out to GoPlugin's community contributors. Shout out to KD or 11 ppm. Shout out to Neil M. And be sure to give GoPlugin a follow on Twitter. Follow GoPlugin's Discord if you need any further assistance. And if anything, be sure to reach out to me. I'm always willing to help. Follow me on Twitter, LeftyChris13. Follow me on Discord, LeftyChris. And also be sure to find me on LinkedIn, Christopher Powell. But with that said, I'm out. Peace.